The 2014 World Cup in Brazil reaches its conclusion with two sides, Germany and Argentina, one match away from glory. I'm joined by sports reporter Tony Mogan and European football correspondent Eduardo Fernandez-Abascal. We'll start off with how the two sides will approach the game. We'll have Germany, confidence sky high at the moment after their utter annihilation of host Brazil 7-1 in the semi-finals. Whilst with Argentina, they've been steady, solid, defensive, but they'll be egged on more by the chance to, I guess, add insult to injury to Brazil and win the World Cup on their own turf.
Yeah, I think for Argentina, it's gotten to this stage now where we're no longer expecting them to kick into gear. They've got to this stage arguably through the easiest group of the tournament and maybe again with the easiest route through the knockout stages. But through sheer diligence and concentration, they've got to this stage without really, lighting the tournament up. Going into the final now, it seems like a stage perfectly set up for Lionel Messi. But just as important for Argentina in this game now will be the presence of Javier Mascherano. In Messi, you have the verve, the expectation of brilliance at any point in time to open the game up. But in Mascherano's case, that's solidity at the back, and that diligence will be just as important against Germany. I think these two characters will be absolutely essential to Argentina having any chance in this game completely. In Mascherano's case, his presence in midfield has allowed him to get hold of the ball and intelligently distribute it to more creative players such as Messi and Di Maria, who will obviously be missing. But in that sense, him finding the intelligent pass has allowed Argentina to operate, even though they haven't been at their free-flowing best. If he can pick up the ball and carefully, not overstate his presence going forward, but carefully find the ball for the attacking players, then I think that would be Argentina's best output, because I don't think Argentina are going to have the space to freely attack Germany. I don't think they'll be allowed that space. So it will be a very diligent approach to finding the ball to Messi. It won't be spectacular, I don't think, but there's only so much Messi can do. If he does open this up on his own, it will have to be a masterclass, even by his standards.
I think Argentina actually have progressed a lot since the very beginning of the competition, because in the first two games of the World Cup, it was just all about Messi. Messi actually scored in the group stage, and he was the only leader of the team. But against Switzerland, and especially against Belgium, I think apart from Messi, the rest of the 10 players were actually a real team, with Mascherano, of course, as a leader of everything, of the midfield. I think Mascherano against Netherlands, it was like playing with one more player because he was unbelievable. But also the defense with Zabaleta, Garay, Rojo, they are really good players, and I think they have understand really well what Sabella wants for them. And they are very solid, and they are very committed to the same idea. And it's true that maybe they are not going to have many spaces in the defense, because the German side are not going to let them to have many spaces, but probably more than against Netherlands. And they proved against Belgium that Higuain, Lavezzi and Messi himself, with the spaces are much better. They need the spaces to make the difference up front. And it's true that Germans were amazing against Brazil, but I think that they still can suffer a little bit in the defense, because Mertesacker and Hummels are really good defenders, but they are slow. And with Messi, Higuain, we already saw against France that Benzema made some great occasions against Germany and also against Algeria. So Germany is the favorite to win, but also Argentina are going to have their chances for sure.
What do you expect in terms of both managers approaching the game tactically? We've seen Argentina, certainly in the last semi-final against Holland, it almost seemed they were trying not to lose as opposed to win. I'm sure they'll be aware of the ruthlessness of the German counter-attacks, whilst at the same time you mentioned the slow defence Germany possesses. They'll be worried that Messi could cause real problems for them on the night. Will this be a more cautious, cagey affair?
I think so. Germany, on one hand, have seen what Argentina are capable of, and Germany and the rest of the world's got an outstanding reminder of what this German team are capable of. I do think it will be a slightly more cautious affair. Germany will be aware of what can happen to them if they get in the mood and start playing the ball around as incisively as they did against Brazil. So I think we can expect a cautious start, definitely. I think they are more carefully set up. As Eduardo mentioned there, the high defensive line was the source of all their problems and the source of why people sorted out them earlier in the tournament. But the restoration of Philipp Lahm at right back and the presence of Bastian Schweinsteiger shielding that back line I think has seen slight improvement. Against France, it was a slight improvement on the Algeria performance. So I think there have been some movements made to address that. But that will be Argentina's best source to getting in behind that back line. They're not one team to pursue a long ball over the top, which was Algeria's best outlet, and Algeria arguably have looked the most dangerous side to dislodge Germany in terms of getting behind their defence. Whether Sabella will adopt that route remains to be seen, as his game very much centres on what Lionel Messi can do. But we'll wait and see. Mats Hummels, I believe, has been one of the most outstanding defenders in the competition, despite missing one game and despite Germany's woes. I think his presence in the back line restores so much more belief, and he commands that line so much more effectively than the presence of Boateng and Mertesacker. Where he lacks pace, I think he makes up for it in that respect. Whether it can quell Messi's pace and the pace of others around him, such as Lavezzi and Aguero, if he comes on to play in this game, will be key.
I think we can see a really similar game to the Champions League final between Real Madrid and Atletico, because actually the situation is quite similar. Real Madrid arrived to that game after destroying Bayern Munich, like Germans have now done with Brazil, and they have much confidence for that game. But then we saw that the teams were much balanced in that game. Actually, Atletico Madrid were winning that game until the very last minute, and then Sergio Ramos scored that goal almost in the extra time, and Real Madrid won in the extra time. But here it can happen something similar, because Germany arrived with too much confidence, I think, and I don't think that they are going to be the German side that we saw against Brazil. They are going to be good, but not that great probably. Argentina are not going to let them to play like that. And also Argentina, I think, are going to be a little bit better than the Argentina that we saw against Netherlands. So I think it's going to be a more balanced game. Germany obviously are going to be the ones that have to try to control the ball, to give the lead of the game. But Argentina are going to have their chances, and especially if Aguero is fit. Against Netherlands he wasn't really good, but I think he's going to be a little bit better. And let's see if Di Maria finally plays, because he's a crucial player for Argentina. I don't think he's going to be ready, but considering how Di Maria is, maybe he makes a miracle to be in the final, and he would be totally crucial for Argentina.
So you reckon it's going to be a close match. Who do you predict then will emerge victorious, and will it be in 90 minutes, 120, or will this go all the way to penalties?
I think Germany have been preparing for this game for a long time. This is the culmination of a 14-year project. You saw in 2009, 6 of the players who started against Brazil were in the side that thrashed England 4-0 in the under-21 European Championship final. 2010 and 2012, we saw more improvement, but they weren't quite there. Now I think this is their chance. I think from these past ventures to this stage of the competition, they're prepared to go in the long haul. So I think we will see again that stretches for the full 120 minutes. But I can't look past Germany having the extra drive to get that. Also looking into the fact that Germany effectively played one half against Brazil, whereas Argentina were pushed and pushed last night now. So whether fatigue will come into play now remains to be seen. But if it was a balanced affair between the two, I'd put my money on Germany.
I think probably Germany. It's true that they are the favorite, but I still have the feeling that Argentina, and especially Leo Messi, are gonna do something in that final, and probably in the extra time they can win the game.
So predictions of a score?
2-0 Germany, both goals in extra time.
Yeah, something like a draw in 2-2 in the 90 minutes, and Messi scoring the goal in the extra time.
Well, for all our coverage of the World Cup final, go to our website, ibtimes.co.uk/sport.